Earth Day, Earth Day, let's all come together. Earth Day, to make this world much better. 'Cause we love our planet Earth, beautiful and blue. We want to take care of it with everything we do. We can recycle, tell your friends and neighbors. Glass, aluminum, plastic, and paper. Well, that's what today's little lessons for online is all about. How to take food boxes and with a little bit of magic, turn them into learning activities and toys. And you know, this is a perfect time to be doing this because yesterday was Earth Day, and a lot of us are having some financial squeezes right now, so we don't have a lot of extra money, and we can't go to the store every time we want something and buy something. So these activities I'm going to share with you, you can use in your classroom. I also thought these might be something interesting to do when you do your online lessons, that you could share them with the kids, because I know a lot of parents are watching then, and so that's just a good little tease and a way to help the parents do some of these activities with their children. What I suggest you do is tell parents to get a grocery sack, and for a whole week just put in all of their food boxes, cereal boxes, cracker boxes, rice boxes, anything that comes in a box. Just save it in a bag for a week, and I'm going to show you some different things that you can do. And just to let you know, these are all on my blog today, drjeanandfriends.blogspot.com. Okay, so you know, children love containers. They love little treasure boxes that they can put things in. And so one of my favorite things to do with food boxes is to cut the top off, punch a hole in the short sides, and then tie on yarn or string so that they can carry this. Now, you can paint these, which is a pain. Easiest thing to do is to get children paper, let them draw a picture, and just glue it on here. Or you could let them do a collage and cut things out and glue them on here. And once they get it made, you can use this for lots of different things. You could go on a nature walk and let them find rocks or leaves or whatever it is you're studying at the time. They could use this to store their favorite little toys. They could put, you know, their cars or maybe their action figures or their favorite little animals in here. You could use this for a busy box that they could keep paper and crayons and scissors and all of their little school supplies in here. And when they want to play school, it's all right here. You could also use these for flashcards. And last week I mentioned, you know, taking a cereal box and turning it into a word bank where children got to save their words. And a teacher emailed and said, oh, I'm going to have my kids use it for a letter box, or a shape box, or a number box, or the younger children just, you know, like a picture box of different things that they like. And so this is just, you know, there becomes ownership when they have something like this. And I'm sure if you made this box for the kids, they could think of a dozen other things to do with their little treasure box. Now, another thing that you can do with food boxes, you can make blocks that children can build with. And so if you just stuff the boxes with newspaper, and you don't even need to stuff them, but tape the lid on, and just lots of different sizes. The kids can build with these inside. They can take them outside. You can give them painter's tape or masking tape, and they can tape them together. I've seen kids build a whole little fort, a little castle with these boxes. So these are just great building boxes, and they're not real heavy, so if they fall down, nobody's going to get hurt. Now, another thing that you can do with food boxes is you can make puzzles. And so, you know, if you've got young children, you might want to cut it into two pieces. Depending on the children's age, you can cut them into as many pieces as you want. And the older kids can make their own puzzles and keep the pieces in an envelope or something. And so, with the younger children too, a good idea is if you have two light boxes to put cut one apart and then let them use the lid, the front from the other box, and do the puzzle on top. So it's more of a matching game. Another matching game that you can do with food boxes is called fronts and backs. And so here's another good visual discrimination game for the younger children. You cut the fronts and backs off the boxes and you mix them all up, and then they have to put the ones that go together. Now, as a grown-up, this might seem like a very easy thing for you to do, but it's a little bit more challenging for a young child. And then the older kids, you can take the fronts and backs and play a memory game. Of course, you're going to have to cut them down to be about the same size, and you just put them down and they turn over two at a time. You know how to play a memory game. Now, you can also take food boxes and you can turn them into sewing cards. So you just punch holes around the edges and give the children string or yarn. They have some great sewing cards. And one of the best ways to give children sewing activities is to give them a shoelace. It's got a little end to it, and it's a little bit bigger than trying to sew with yarn or string or something like that. So save your old shoelaces for that. And I'm not done. There are more things. How about weaving? You know, very few people weave anymore, but if you just take the box and cut notches in the side, the children can take yarn and weave back and forth. And of course, it really doesn't make anything, but it's the process, not the product. And eye-hand coordination and all the things that they're doing when they are weaving. Now, you can also take food boxes and turn them into books. And so if you have all the children bring in their favorite food box and then you write their name on it, like Joey Eats Cheerios, you can put their books together and make a book called What's for Breakfast. And they can read each other's name and then the cereal that they like to eat for breakfast. For the older kids, an interesting thing to do with the sides of food boxes where it shows the nutritional value is cut off those sides and then let the children compare the amount of sugar and the different things that are in the cereal. And you might be shocked at the sugar content in some of the cereals, and this is good for older kids because their parents don't want them to eat the sugar cereal, and when they actually visually see it, you know, it might make an impact in their brain. Older kids too, fractions. Fractions are a tough thing for kids, and so if you get your cereal boxes and then you first cut them in half, you have 2 parts, one of two, and then you can cut them into 4 parts, and then you have 1 of 4, and you can keep going and cutting them more and more. And then also stencils and templates, and this is not creating art, but this is really good for small motor skills and eye-hand coordination. So, and I learned this yesterday, when you cut a shape out, it's called a stencil. And so if you can cut shapes out of the cereal boxes, the children can put them down and they can color inside, and that's a stencil. And when you trace around something, then that's called a template. So you can also cut out shapes, geometric shapes, holiday shapes, seasonal shapes, different things like that, and the children can trace around them. Another very good small motor activity. And one more little idea with the food boxes, and please let me know how I can help you, things that I can do next week when I do these little lessons. Several teachers requested ideas for helping children with rhymes. And so you get a little box and you cover it, and here's a chant. Here's a box. Here's the lid. I wonder what inside is hid. I'm going to give you a hint. It rhymes with bed, and it's a color. Bed. Did I hear you say red? Yes, it's a red crayon. Say it with me. Bed, red. Can you think of something else that ends like that? Yeah, head. Dead, yeah. Yeah, listen to all those things you're coming up with. Okay, here's another rhyme. Here's a box. Here's the lid. I wonder what inside is hid. This rhymes with hair, and it's an animal, a big animal, and he sleeps in a cave in the winter. Hair, bear. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Here's the bear. Can you think of something else that rhymes with bear? Chair. Mm-hmm. Mayor. Mm-hmm. Stair. Yeah. Good rhyming. Now, here's the song with rhymes. Show me your hands. Bear, hair, those words rhyme. Bear, hair, those words rhyme. Bear, hair, those words rhyme. They both end with air. Let's do some other rhyming words. Cat, hat, those words rhyme. Cat, hat, those words rhyme. Cat, hat, those words rhyme. They both end with at. That's right. Okay, so that little tune is Skip to My Lou. And one time a teacher said that when she had the children add their hands as they did the rhyming words, there was something about putting it in their brain. I found if I can get the kids to use their hands, I've got a better chance of engaging them and getting their attention. And I've done several Zoom classes, and I was laughing with my daughter last night. Isn't that mute just a wonderful thing on Zoom? But I've been invited to do some classes, and I love doing it with the children. I usually sing a song, tell a story, and do a finger play. And so each week now, I'm trying to do a song and a story little video that you can share when you do your online lessons, because as one teacher said, I'm running out of things to do, and I know that is so true. So thank you for joining me today. I hope I gave you some good practical ideas and gave you some things that you can do to recycle food boxes and have children be inventors, and when you model these things, what a powerful thing that is for children to think about reusing and recycling and repurposing material. And so thank you for joining me. It is time to say goodbye to all my friends. It is time to say goodbye to all my friends. It is time to say goodbye. Give a smile and wink your eye. It is time to say goodbye to all my friends. Goodbye, friends. I'll see you next Thursday at 10 with more little lessons for online learning. And let me know what you want me to do so I can really meet your needs. I do have a YouTube channel, so it's real easy. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you'll get these lessons, and you'll also get the song and story each week to share with your children. So take care. God bless. Be well and happy.